Hello, thank you for tuning in. And you are tuned into the Encourager. And I am back with today's angel numbers for 3/16/2024. And again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you, returning listeners. Thank you, new listeners. And so let's go ahead and get started. So again, whatever page I turn to, I will say the page and where it's located, the specific angel number that I'm going to read. So for the first one, let's go left page, upper left. Okay, so the very top of the page, very first angel number. Okay. And just so you are aware, I am reading from this particular book, the Angel Numbers book, and it is written by Mystic Michela. At least that's how I pronounce the name. All right, so let's go. And that number is 604. Connect to the values you hold dear. Number 604, angel number. Your angels guide you to reflect on the core beliefs that are most important to you and discover a way to create emotion with them. Okay? Identify one core belief you have and write about how it came to be and how you wish to see it grow with you in the future. Okay? Also like number 5, that was kind of peeking out there, that says develop boundaries. I kind of like angel number 605 too, if you caught that. So absolutely. And it's good. I like that several of these angel number paragraphs have mentioned writing things down, because that's extremely important. Nikola Tesla believed in manifesting using the 3-6-9 method, where you would write something down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times in the evening to manifest whatever that was that you were wanting or desiring. And I've heard several people use that method in order to manifest, right? And you speak out, I am, or I will be, or I, what have you. Okay. And I like the I am affirmations. And so, yes, those connecting to those values to make sure that they support where you're wanting to go. Okay. And so if you have a belief towards, I'm going to use myself as an example, right? And one that I speak about all the time because I'm serious about it. And that is romantic relationships. Okay. So I developed this belief. Okay. And it's not a belief. It's true. Relationships are a lot of work. Okay. And so I've developed this. I've known that relationships are a lot of work for most of my adult life. However, what I've done is to take that to another level and create those boundaries that angel number 605 was kind of, again, at the bottom of the screen, was showing, developing those boundaries that support my new beliefs. Okay. And so that's also part of evaluating your beliefs and determining how they fit into your future. And so my future, to me, it looks like me living kind of out in the middle of nowhere, with my whatever green lifestyle, semi-green lifestyle, off the grid, whatever that happens to be, me, my dogs, and I show up wherever, however, whether it's invitation or as guided as Most High leads me, right? But I'm not out in the public all the time and all that sort of thing. I kind of appear when needed and kind of disappear when I'm not needed. That's how I see my life going. Not out there and being social as I was in my first 46 years and 9 months. I don't plan on living that lifestyle anymore. Right. And so these values, these core beliefs, they support my lifestyle and the way that I want to live in the future. Okay. And so let's go ahead and go on to, and I encourage you to do that self-evaluation for yours. There are things that I used to believe that I don't anymore, things that I didn't believe that I do now. And that's the purpose of the personal evaluating of yourself. And so I do that on a regular basis. You know, I go through my friends list. I only have 25 friends on Facebook now. But even just this morning, I deleted someone. I go through my Facebook page or blocked someone because it's the constant thing. And whenever Spirit shows me, right, who's really not sending happy vibes towards me, that's what I do. I remove them. Okay. So let's go to the next angel number. So let's do the right side of the page, lower left. Okay. So on the right page, but lower left. So let's see what we have. Okay. Angel number 866. Okay. Look for the good. When you get in the habit of looking for the good in others, you will let go of the need to judge them. See people in a compassionate light. Reflect on people in your light and their intentions towards you rather than on their actions. Okay. And so, yes, their intentions. So this is what I believe. Okay. This is a very thin, very, very thin line. Okay. Because it is extremely, extremely difficult on one hand and very easy on the other hand to get this messed up and to get this confused. Okay. Because the way that someone treats you, that is their intentions. And I truly believe that. So if I have unconditional love for someone, I'm going to treat them a certain way. Okay. If I speak that I love them, but my actions show otherwise, then we need to pay attention to people's actions, because people end up getting their lives ended, not physically, because they don't pay attention to people's actions. They just listen to the guy telling them, the hood rat, that they love them. You don't love them when you're knocking them around the house. You don't love them. Okay? You don't love them when you're pistol whipping them. You don't love them when you going out and sexting other people. You don't love that person. Okay. So again, reflect on people in your life and their intentions towards you rather than their actions. I tend not to go with that last line. I pay more attention to people's actions. People's intentions don't mean a goddamn thing to me. Because people can have intentions all day long. But guess what? If you stabbing me and you still talking about you have good intentions for me, I'm not believing that. You can only kick a dog so many times before the dog bites back. You know what I mean? Right. So let's go to the next angel number. And let's do... let's just see. I don't know. Let's just see. Angel number 488. Focus on what you can do. You are cautioned not to focus on your weakness more than your strengths. Instead of seeing what you cannot do, flip the script and look at what you can do. Write out what your strengths are and in all facets of life. Nothing is too small to mention. Okay. And so I also, again, like that share intelligence part down there that was in the screen. So, again, we're reminded to write things down. Okay. And, in fact, let me go back to that. I want to reference something here. 488. That's also a good number. At least for me, it is 488. Okay. So I often speak of life happening to us or excuse me, at life happening for us, not to us. So life is trying to guide us. Unfortunately, most of us spend our lifetimes, or the majority of our life, going against the direction that Most High and life is trying to pull us into. So see, Most High is never going to force you. That's why we have free will. Most High is never going to force you into something. And thankfully, because there are things that I'm just glad we have free will about. Okay. I'm glad we're not made to have to stick to what we're taught. I'm glad that we don't have to bear the sins of our parents. I'm glad, I'm glad of those things, that we can heal those things. But life happens for you and not to you. Focusing on what you can do, okay, helps you to better streamline your thoughts, your emotions, because you cannot control anyone else, is what I always say. You can't control your spouse. You can't control your kids. You try to, but they prove you wrong every single day. Your spouse or your children, thank you for the bark, dog. Your spouse or your children are going to show you today on 2/16/24 that you do not control them. They're going to show you that today. Your employees are going to show you today you don't control them. Your dog today, your pets, they're going to show you you do not control them. They're going to show you that by doing whatever they want to do when you want them to do something else. Okay? Right? So, the only person that we can control 100% is ourself. That is self. That's it. No one else. Okay? And so we go throughout our day today. Remember, boundaries are important. Yes, it's important to pay attention or to listen for the intents of the individual, but pay more attention to their actions. Okay, I often speak about this when I talk about parents concerning their children and how parents tell children to do as I say and not as I do. Don't tell your kids to do as you say and not as you do. Set the fucking example, because it's your actions that they follow. They're not going to remember what you said more than they remember your actions. Mom said I needed to stay away from drugs, but she couldn't get herself off of drugs. That's what they're going to remember. They're not going to remember that you told them to stay off of drugs. They're not going to remember that before they remember that you couldn't get yourself off of drugs. They're not going to remember that. Okay? So they follow what you do, your actions, more than your intentions. So pay attention to other people's intentions, but more importantly, pay attention to their actions. Because their actions are their choices, and their actions are at the core of their heart, despite whatever they might be spewing to you. Okay? Thank you so much again for tuning in. My name is Nehru. This is The Encourager, where we are becoming our highest, purest, truest version of ourselves. And we do that through recognizing who we are within and bringing that person within to the expression of our outer self, right? Our external self, and being authentic. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Nehru, and as always, be encouraged and talk to you soon.